Now let me say this and be this real clear before I go through this divorce decree. Let me be real clear. Many of us women, and we don't want to hear this, and I know we don't want to hear this. Many of us have this fantasy of what love and marriage is supposed to be. And we are programmed. It has been programmed into us what we think it's supposed to be with all of the fairy tales. If you notice, most of them princesses aren't even conscious until what? The man kisses them. The man has to either come for them, has to rescue them, or has to kiss them. I'm here to tell you, you are your own savior. You are your own savior. You are your own savior. A man is not a plan. If someone would have told me I was getting a divorce at age 56, leaving my home and my business, I would have told them they was a lie and the truth ain't in it. Well, this is my divorce story. Welcome. I am Tracy, the Sacred CEO, Tracy Bryant, and I am here at Life After Divorce Show. And I have some great news to share with you. Welcome to another episode. And if you don't know, I am your delicious divorce doula, truth-telling, tea-sipping, live mama, here for the sacred rebellion of going against the program of what they've set up for us women called marriage, okay? Because really and truly, I truly believe, with me being a melanated woman, that I was not meant to submit. Not in the way that society wants to program us to submit. I just don't believe that us melanated women, those of us with the mitochondria DNA, we don't have it in us to submit. So the louder, bolder, more prominent, and the more we stand up and show up and take up space, the world just can't take it. Especially men. They just can't take it. They want us to give of all of our resources and share of all of our fertility, our beauty, our love, our wealth, our labor. But they don't want us to take up space. How do you do that? Help me understand. How do you share so much of yourself? Being bountiful, being fertile, being electric, being attractive, being a source of feminine energy that is abundant and just big and bold and voluptuous. How do you share all of that and not take up space? It's impossible. It is totally impossible. But I want to come here to you today and talk about the spell of marriage and the breaking of the spell called divorce. I just got my freedom papers yesterday. I am officially divorced. I created this podcast last year in August 2024. And I'm happy to say over on YouTube, I have over 11 and 8K subscribers. I have over 7,000 on TikTok. And I have I think I have 5,000 or close to 5,000 here on Instagram since August of 2024. So I'm coming to you and I'm talking about real life circumstances. I'm coming to you and I'm speaking about real shit. The shit that nobody wants to talk about. The stuff that people just want to walk over and sugarcoat and ignore and act like it's not there. But you know, marriage is a spell. This is my theory. This is not for everybody. Some of you, I'm sure, don't agree. But to say those words and to say them in front of either a judge or a priest. And the judge or the priest has to certify and solidify the contract. Okay? The marriage is a contract. It is a contract on this physical realm, but it is also a contract in the spiritual realm. Okay? And I'm going to get to it because we say the words that we say concerning marriage, till death do us part. That right there is so powerful and takes you beyond this physical realm. Till death do us part. Do any of us actually truly die? Yeah, we die in the physical, but we are continuously evolving in having another spiritual experience. Why do I say this? Because in reading my final judgment of divorce decree, I was blown away. I remember saying those marriage vows, and when I said them, I was in limerence and love, honey. I was all in the fantasy of what I thought this shit was supposed to be. Now, let me say this and be this real clear before I go through this divorce decree. Let me be real clear. Many of us women, and we don't want to hear this, and I know we don't want to hear this. Many of us have this fantasy of what love and marriage is supposed to be. And we are programmed. It has been programmed into us what we think it's supposed to be with all of the fairy tales. If you notice, most of them princesses aren't even conscious until what? The man kisses them. The man has to either come for them, has to rescue them, or has to kiss them. I'm here to tell you, you are your own savior. You are your own savior. You are your own savior. A man is not a plan. Understand, there's too many women who are suffering right now because they made their man their plan. So when he gets tired of his new shiny thing and he wants something else new and shiny, because he's lost interest or he's no longer attracted, he will move on. Most of them do. 80% of them do. Then you have probably another 10% that's holding on for the children, but both of y'all are extremely unhappy. But that death do us part piece, that says a lot. Why is that death do us part piece in there? For one, it's because marriage is because we become the property. Women become the property of men. And I'm going to give you an example. They don't take our last name. We take their last name. Same thing with slavery. Okay? Slaves were branded with what? The master's last name. Their identity was stripped. Their name was changed. That's what happens to women when we go into marriage. Our name is changed. Our identity changes. I was no longer Tracy Bryant. I became the product of him. I became the characteristic of him. I no longer have my own individual identity because now I'm in a union. And now I am his wife. I am no longer autonomous. Understand that. And I am the property with this contract. I am the property of the man. Why? We are in a patriarchy. The patriarchal order is that men are in the hierarchy and they are the highest order over women in the patriarchy. And that this system, what it does, it actually benefits and feeds the patriarchy. So what we have done as women, being in this patriarchal system, being programmed and conditioned with all of the baby dolls and the cleaning toys and the baking toys and the cooking toys and all the things that prepare us to become a wife and a mother, where we lose ourselves, where we never really find ourselves. We never actually find ourselves until we break out and bust out into a deep, deep heartbreak or divorce. That's when you really go into finding yourself, because before that, we're already trained, programmed, and conditioned to become a wife and a mother. Think about it. At 18 years old, you was already thinking about your wedding and your wedding dress, right? So with that, what we've also done, and many of you don't want to hear this, we've pigeonholed men into the fantasy of what was created for us. We pigeonhole them into our fantasy and programming of what our marriage, our husband, and our family is supposed to be and what it is supposed to look like. Those men cannot come through with that programming. They try. They come through for a moment. They understand too. They actually use it as a advantage over us, because they know what we've been programmed to believe. They know we've been programmed to believe in this Savior. They know we've been programmed to believe that this man is going to come and save the day, and you're going to have the white picket fence in the home and the 2 cars and the 2.5 children, 3 children. You know, you're going to have a good job. He's going to have a good job, and you're going to have friends and family over, and family's going to love you, and you're going to be the light of the family because you have the American dream. Is that really your dream though? And that's what I had to learn. That was the American dream. That wasn't my damn dream. My dream had been hijacked by the patriarchy and the programming and the American dream. So the programming that we have been given and fed since we were young girls, we also want the men, okay, to perform in that program. You don't break the fantasy up now. Don't tear up the fantasy. Don't destroy the fantasy. I need that fantasy, because that fantasy is what keeps me sane right now. That fantasy is what keeps me whole right now. That fantasy is what keeps me feeling like I'm a wife and a mother. Don't break up the fantasy. Don't cheat. Don't lie. Don't come in here and spending all the money. Don't come in here and you can't provide. Because, see, the fantasy of what they fed us is that the man is supposed to come and provide and protect and it's supposed to honor. You're supposed to honor the husband. You're supposed to clean. You're supposed to cook. You're supposed to take care of the children. That system of marriage is no longer working, because we've been lied to. It never worked. Our parents, our mothers, our grandmothers just made it work. But tell me, how many of our mothers was living unhappy? And most of them left or did leave, went through it, stayed heartbroken, stayed in the marriage heartbroken, dying inside. Why? Because it's not to support and benefit women. It is to support and benefit men. It is to support and benefit them. But they give us this fantasy very early. They give us this program and conditioning very, very early, so that we can submit to it. And then we're mad, angry, frustrated, and furious with the men because they can't keep up with the program and the fantasy that we were fed. They can't keep up with it because it's unrealistic. The programming that they've given us, the conditioning, that fairy tale belief of what this marriage is supposed to look like and be and all of that, it is unrealistic. And that's why now we are experiencing this great divide between men and women. This is why the divorce rate is up by 40 more percent than what it was 10 years ago. This is why, because it's unrealistic. And we are promoting and perpetuating this unrealistic fantasy of what this marriage and what this love with this man is supposed to be. He comes into the relationship performing and showing up as the person in the fantasy, the man in the fantasy, the husband in the fantasy, but he can't keep that shit up because it is unrealistic. It is not real. And then we turn around and we get so angry and upset with him because he can't keep up the fantasy. Yes, we have to take some accountability that we have been fed a lie. We've been fed a lie. So I'm going to share with you what this divorce decree says, because it blew my mind. It blew my mind. And I've been divorced before. But this time, this marriage and this divorce served me totally different from all my other ones. All my other ones, I wasn't this consciously aware. Okay? I wasn't this rebellious. I wasn't this strong-willed in my thoughts, my philosophies, and my beliefs. I was still paying to play. I was still looking to be accepted and validated by others. So I could not even emote or grasp or express this level of consciousness that I'm speaking with you now. This marriage broke me all the way open, and so did this divorce. This leaving my marriage broke me open. It was more than a heartbreak. It was a coming home. Okay, so let me go ahead and read this to you. It says, upon evidence submitted as provided by law, it is the judgment of this court that a total divorce be granted, that it is to say a divorce between the parties of above stated case upon legal principles. Plaintiff Tracy filed a complaint of divorce on this date. Defendant was served by publication. That's because he didn't want to sign them papers. He held them papers for a whole year. I had to put it in the paper for 30 days in order to get the right to release this contract. So as I go on, based upon the testimony presented by the court finds as follows. It is considered, ordered, and decreed by the court that the marriage contract heretofore entered in between the parties to this case from and after this date be and is set aside and dissolved as fully and effectually as if no such contract has ever been made or entered into. Did you just hear what I said? From this date and after this date be, and it is set aside and dissolved as fully and effectually going into effect as if no such contract had ever been made. Contract had ever been made or entered into. Plaintiff and defendant in the future shall be held and considered as a separate and distinct person, altogether unconnected by any nuptial union or civil contract. It said, be held and considered a separate and distinct person. Separate. I got my autonomy back. Yes. Yes. And it says, any nuptial union and civil contract, wheresoever both shall have the right to remarry. Baby, they ain't got to worry about me. Baby, they ain't got to worry about me. I will never tie my soul up into this type of contract again. If it ever is an opportunity where I would tie myself up to a contract, it would be business, and it would be for the wealth of myself and my family without an abuser. Because most men do not know how to communicate. Most women, hate to say it, we don't know how to communicate, but we do communicate. Why? Because we're more emotional. But most men especially don't know how to communicate. And many people lead with abuse, whether that's verbal, mental, emotional, financial, or physical. People don't know how to talk to one another. People don't know how to express themselves in a healthy manner. You know, and the thing about words is once words get out there, you can't take words back. Baby, once a word is out in the universe, you can't take it back. Somebody been and called you all kind of raggedy ass names, and you feel some kind of way, and then they come to you and say, baby, I was just angry. I was in my feelings. I was hurt. I'm so sorry. You might forgive them, but guess what? It's going to sit there in the pit of your gut. It's going to sit there. You're going to file it. It ain't going to go nowhere. It ain't like it's going to disappear. And if the person continues to keep it up, keep doing it, guess what? At some point, you're going to be overwhelmed. You're going to be overwhelmed. And that's when you're going to consider, I need to do something about this. There has to be some changes made. Because apologies come with changed behavior. Correct? Y'all with me? Y'all with me? So they ain't got to worry about me marrying no more. But it says the parties have no joint debt. Each party shall be responsible for his or her own debts in his or her own name. The parties have no joint real or personal property or assets or land of any kind. Each party shall be entitled to the property in his or her own possessions currently. The court restores the defendant her prior maiden name. So not only did I get my power back, not only did I get my autonomy back, I got my name back. I got my name back. And that's real important. Only time I probably wouldn't have asked for my name back if I was with someone that was connected, like I said again, to wealth. And that name was connected to wealth. And it was going to upgrade and up-level my existence. Oh, yeah, I'm on a whole nother page now, baby. I ain't marrying no more for love. Matter of fact, I don't even think I'm getting into relationships for love. I'm getting relationships for pleasure. Right? Because a woman who finds her pleasure, baby, she expands in every way. So, yeah, I will get into relationships for pleasure. And I love pleasure. But first, we have to really be able to establish, do we know what love is? And most of us don't. Most of us are in limerence. And that's just a strong infatuation and addiction to a person, situation, places, and things. That's what most of us are experiencing. We're experiencing limerence. We're not experiencing love. Because love is not possessive. It is not forced. Love is by choice, and love is expansive. And many of us cannot expand in our love. I'm a person who can love more than one person at a time. I don't call myself poly. I don't put myself in a box. Okay? I'm a person who understands human attraction. Many people can't understand human attraction. You think once you get into a relationship, all attraction cease. That's a damn lie. Attraction is a human experience that everybody's having. So many people are running around with hypocrites with haircuts, honey. They're attracted to certain things and certain people, and they're trying to kill their desire and not admit their attractions. And instead of being able to speak about that and express that with their partner, they hold all that shit in. And next thing you know, you got some infidelity situations going on. It's crazy. People do not know how to relate one to another. And that's why I'm here. And that's one of the reasons I created the podcast, was so that I can be better at relating. I can discuss these things that are very real to every human being's life, especially within relationships, within marriage, within love, within heartbreak, within breakups, within divorce. It's like, let's figure this shit out. Because nobody got this shit on lock. Nobody. So that's what I'm here to do. So yes, I wanted to share my good news with you. I am officially divorced. And yes, I have my autonomy. I am a new found sovereign woman. Go look that word up. Go look up sovereignty. Meaning I own all of my existence. And I never, ever want to attach or connect myself to someone where I'm no longer autonomous. Where I no longer can totally and fully express myself without having to shrink because someone else can't accept my expression, my healthy human expression. Yeah, expression within respect, of course. Of course, because if I love you in any way, or even if I like you, I'm going to respect you. Shit, it's people I don't like. I still respect. Right? But people will try to control you to the point you can't even be your fullest true expression of who you are, because you're compromising and considering another person's feelings. And I'm not willing to do that. And that's probably why I won't end up in these relationships they set up for us, because I don't want to consider nobody's feelings, and I don't want to compromise a damn thing. I shouldn't have to. I should be able to have it all. I am Tracy Bryant here at Life After Divorce Show. I'm looking to rebrand this thing very, very soon, so look out for that. I want to thank all of you here on YouTube who have supported me, who have subscribed to me. Thank all of you on Instagram who have also, came over to the page and followed the page. And those of you on TikTok, I want to thank you too for being, for everyone, just for supporting, the movement of finding ourselves and loving ourselves to the degree that we don't have to settle. You don't have to settle, and you don't have to settle down. Okay? So if you want more rejuvenation, if you want recovery, if you want to rejoice after divorce, and if you are over 40 and you are seeking a community of women who are rejoicing, recovering, restoring, and just finding their purpose again after marriage, after divorce, join us on Facebook at the Rebirth Collective Community. We got butterflies over there. Everybody over there is blooming and they metamorphosis, and it's so beautiful. So check us out if you're over 40 and you are divorced and you are a woman. We are over at the Rebirth Collective. Also, check out my new ebook. I will put that in the description. My new free ebook. It is Heartbreak to Happiness, 10 steps to recovering from divorce. And who knows all too well than me, honey. I appreciate all of you, and thank you again. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Peace and blessings. Are you ready to turn your mess into magic? Slide on over to the Rebirth Collective on Facebook. It's our exclusive community for healing and empowerment for women who are divorced and over 40 and deserve that post-divorce glow. You're not alone. You are just getting started. Let's rise together. Join us today.